Yo, what up my beautiful dowdies? How's everyone doing today? I'm your host Val, and let's talk about Jiaoqiu. You still don't know if you should pull for Jiaoqiu or not? Hey, you landed on the right video because we're gonna go over all the pros and cons and just his existence as a whole, you know, like if he's worth it or not, if he's good for your account, because I do think Honkai Star Rail is evolving in a way where we have to pick and choose, and I think some characters are great, but just not for every single account. In this video, we're gonna really check if this character is going to be valuable for you. So let's get straight into it. Should you pull for Jiaoqiu in Honkai Star Rail? Jiaoqiu, our boy, our fox boy, you know. He is very interesting. 100%. I love this patch with interesting characters. I think Yunli, Jiaoqiu are super interesting. Maybe they're not like the greatest or for every account, but they're 100% very interesting, and their kits as a whole just stand out and they bring something new to the table, and I love that about this whole patch, you know. I think we can all say that Jiaoqiu is 100% going to be insanely worth it if you have none other than Acheron. Acheron is the best combination with this character, hands down, right? I think we all know that by now. This is a character that is almost made for Acheron. Acheron will get so much value from Jiaoqiu, and let me tell you why. Of course, he's a nihility character. That's the number one thing. Acheron likes nihility characters that can debuff the enemy, and he does all that but more. Yes, he's nihility, so you get one of the 2 slots for Acheron, but he also debuffs. But he doesn't just normally debuff. He makes sure that he applies vulnerability, and vulnerability is just a whole different ball game what we have in Honkai Star Rail. You know, we have buffing and debuffing, and then in buffing we have like attack percentage, crit damage, elemental, whatever it is, and with debuffing we have like defense shred, you know, and all of these things are layered to give your team more damage if it's shredding their defensive stats or giving your party more offensive stats, you know. It just works like that. Jiaoqiu is going to be super new and fresh because we don't have a vulnerability shredder like him in this game. You know, we don't have it on his level yet. There's a few characters that vulnerability shred. I forgot a lot of them. I think Gwenaifen does it in a way. Correct me if I'm wrong. And I know that Black Swan does it on the enemy turn, of course, when you do DOTs. Like, there's a little bit of more characters, but the scale of that he brings, you know, the amount of vulnerability shred that he brings to the table, there is not a single character that does it on his level and the of his efficiency. Of course, we have Pela with defense shredding AoE, and now we can get him. So Acheron will do a lot more damage with him on the field. On top of that, he will make sure that you will do more ultimate damage. He has a lot of cool traces as well, where he gives him effect hit rate with more attack percentage. The Ashen Rose stacks are being applied very effectively. He can give himself energy regen at the start of battle. Like, there's a lot of things that he just is made for Acheron's, literally he's Acheron's battery in a way, right? Like, he just skyrockets her value. And 100% if you are an Acheron player, or you want to take Acheron to the next level, or you want to make sure that Acheron stays that premium unit, I 100% recommend pulling for Jiaoqiu. It is going to make or break your account if you have him or not with Acheron. Now, I think a lot of people knew this by now, and should you pull for him if you don't have Acheron? I made a previous video on him when we went completely over his traces and kit whatever, and we found out that he actually is synergistic with DOT, or with just debuffing or defense shredding as a whole, right? Or like defensive ability shredding, in his case vulnerability. I think that he is going to be not as valuable for DOT. I did some research and I did a good amount of checking, and 100%, hey, if you don't have Ron May and you have Kafka Black Swan or you like DOT, he is going to be phenomenal. Don't get me wrong, he will 100% take your account to the next level. However, I'm a free-to-play player, and you're probably a free-to-play player, or a majority of my viewers are free-to-play players, man, you know, free-to-play brothers and sisters out here. We probably do not want to pick up Jiaoqiu for our DOT compositions. Now, for other compositions that maybe want to have some sort of debuffing or vulnerability shredding, like maybe a Dr. Ratio or other, you know, hyper carries, he probably fits in a lot of team comps and he will probably do his job, you know. I also think that fire as a whole element is very valuable nowadays, because there's a lot of fire weak enemies, so he can, you know, break maybe, or just apply a lot of fire weakness on top of it. Maybe with Firefly he can do like some cool shenanigans, you know. There's a lot of things that he probably will function, but I do think if you don't have Acheron, I recommend to skip this character overall and save for a character that gives you or better overall account value, like a Ranmei, or you really focus on min-maxing on your compositions that you like. And what we talked about just now, DOT, I suspect still a better overall DOT enabler or support coming up, or just a whole DOT character. And Jiaoqiu was never meant to be a DOT character. He works, and with a few Eidolons, I've also seen, you know, with a few Eidolons, he can really skyrocket. I do think that the average free-to-play player doesn't pull for Eidolons or light cones, you know. Maybe a light cone here and there if they're really strong or they really boost your account value, you know, then you can do it. But, you know, normally you really want to be careful with your tickets because they're limited and you're not gonna spend money on them, you know. So you have to be wise with your tickets and your summons. So Jiaoqiu, I think for DOT comps could work and will work. However, I am a DOT lover, you know. For the people that don't know, you know, that's my favorite composition in the entire game. And I'm skipping him. And I just think his kit is too catered towards Acheron. And because Black Swan already has that vulnerability in her kit, and you can just run Ranmei with them, which I have Ranmei, there's not much need for him, you know. Yeah, maybe he will function, but I already have a proper build with Kafka Black Swan where I have both 55 speed on them, and with Ranmei they go over 60 speed. I have both the speed set on Black Swan and Kafka, so they get bonus damage, you know. I have the effect hit rate thresholds and whatever, so he has no value for my account. If he just works with it, cool, but I already have a very well built structured DOT for what I can have right now, and he doesn't fit in that. And I want you guys to look at your account. What is your structure? What are your relics? What do you have already? Because Jiaoqiu, just as much as Yuanli, are characters that, yeah, they can bring value and they're probably good on, and overall, you know, like they're overall good. But on your account, they probably just don't boost that much, you know. And free-to-play players really have to look at value. Maybe you are struggling with pure fiction, and maybe you are struggling with Apocalyptic Shadow. Maybe you need another DPS for your second team. You know, whatever your account is missing still, that's what you need to focus on. Or maybe your archetype, you know, if you like follow-up attack, if you like DOT, if you like break, whatever it is, you need to look in what your value, what brings in value. And Jiaoqiu does not bring value in for me. And that is the exact same thing with every other banner in Honkai Star. And I'm gonna go over in detail with value and whatever separate video, because I think this is very wide, and I think this will help a lot of free-to-play players to understand when to pull and when to hold your tickets. And I've been holding my tickets now since Sparkle came out. That is that's a very long time. It's because nothing gives me joy or value, and joy is the other thing. If Jiaoqiu is your favorite character by design or lore or whatever, pull for him. This video should not be that difficult for you, you know? Fun over everything else in existence. If you don't have fun playing video games, what are you playing video games for? But if you really want to min-max your accounts, then you have to look at value. Jiaoqiu does not bring enough value for my account. Does he do that for you? Or maybe does Sparkle bring more value for you? Or maybe getting that Fei Xiao or Ling Xia. Whatever it is, look at what the value brings. Do you still need fire damage? Maybe then he brings more value for you. Do you still need like a supportive unit on top of that? Hey, pick him up. He's probably going to be very valuable for you. And this is what is very important before you summon for a character. Now, do you not have Ranmei? Do you not have Ho-Ho? Do you not have any other like supportive DOT things? Hey, he's probably going to be very good pickup for your account. I still think we're going to get a better DOT support, but he does work. So that could be something to consider, you know, if you're a newer player. But if you're a newer player, you probably don't have Kafka Black Swan to begin with. So it's a bit of a, you know, weird story. Maybe somehow you got Kafka Black Swan and you did not get your hands on Ranmei. That could be a possibility. So then you can further enhance your DOT compositions with him probably. So look in what you're missing, look in what brings in value for you. Maybe his light cone can be something cool to consider, or you can just save your pools as a whole for an upcoming character. Because I keep saying this, I'm going to keep repeating this until we leave the area again. Lofu. I think Lofu characters are going to bring something crazy to the table. Fei Xiao and Ling Xia, whatever they're going to do, they're going to be crazy. After that, 2.6, 2.7, however, how long we're going to stay here, they're going to be crazy, I think, guys. Because we really have to be careful on who you summon for. because they're going to be insane characters along the way. And after 3.0, trust me, insane characters, right? This is Honkai Star Rail. I think Honkai Star Rail makes great characters. I think they have a very well structured way of bringing characters to light, you know? They really know how to do this, so don't worry. There are going to be more fun and better options if you do not like the current one. So, is he a strong unit? Yes. Will he bring value to your account? Yes, but maybe not to your account. So check what are you missing and you'll have a very good time. Acheron, people, I think you guys have to in a way. I think he is almost made for you, you know. I still don't know what the best setup is going to be. If it's going to be him and Pela or him and Silverwolf. I still think that it depends. If you have both, you could just swap between the two. I think Apocalyptic Shadow, Silverwolf wins. And then Pure Fiction, Pela probably, and then depending on what bosses are in MOC, you can swap between the two as well. So he's going to be extremely valuable there. If you can afford his Light Cone, he's going to even skyrocket in value for your Acheron. You know, it's going to be even more value. He's 100% going to be a very interesting character to think of, you know, if he is to consider for your account. And it's going to be the exact same thing with Sparkle. I think Jiaoqiu and Sparkle are kind of in the same boat, and that's why it's also funny that they're kind of at the same time, right? Sparkle gets the rerun with him. They are so cool, both of them. Kits, design, whatever, they're so interesting. I love both of them, but they can be gigabait for free-to-play account. Trust me, you do not want to have a Sparkle if you do not have a certain criteria or certain characters. She will ruin your flow of the game. And it's the same thing with him. If you do not have value for him or you do not have characters synergizing with him, he is going to be worthless, you know? So be careful. That patch or the second phase can be very dangerous. Be careful, guys. If you want more value or more knowledge on Sparkle, check out my Sparkle video. It's the before you pull Sparkle video on my channel. We go into depth there as well. Very nice, and I think I set my heart here. I think I said everything that I wanted to say. Be careful or have fun and get your favorite character, you know? Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think about Jiaoqiu. Our boy JQ, I think it's very cool it's a Fox male, you know? I do think that is very nice. And I think a lot of you guys appreciate that as well. Let me know what you think about his design, if you're going to pull for him or not, why you're going to pull for him, if it's like value for your account, what teams you're going to build him with, maybe upcoming teams you have ideas, or previous characters that we're forgetting about. You know, we have a lot of stuff out here now. Honkai Star Rail is evolving and evolving. It's very fun to see all this team building and new things. So I would love to hear your guys' takes on this. Make sure to like and subscribe. Really helps out the channel. Means the world to me if you could do that. Make sure to join the Discord. We're trying to grow the community even further. And if you want to support the channel even further, then become a member. I love you all. And I'll see everyone in the next video. Take care. Peace.